If your loved one has Alzheimer's or some other form of dementia, is refusing to eat, or is having trouble swallowing, please consider this. A 2001 study in the Archives of Internal Medicine found that PEG tube placement only extended the life an average of 6 days. A 2003 study in the same journal found that the patient without the PEG tube lived an average of 1 day longer than the one who had the PEG tube placed. In fact, a 2014 systematic review in clinical interventions in aging found that there is presently no evidence in the existing literature to suggest that long-term survival rates improved in patients with advanced dementia who underwent PEG placement for dysphagia or aspiration risk. And that's a quote from the journal. Placing a feeding tube does not extend the life of someone with advanced Alzheimer's or other advanced dementias. Also, you are not starving them. Their bodies are shutting down and can't absorb the nutrients. And that's why so many physicians don't want to place a PEG tube and only reluctantly do so when families insist on it. If you'll stick around for a minute, I'll explain why. But first, I'd like to ask you to share this video with anybody that you might think might benefit from it. Also, just to let you know, when you watch my videos to the end, you're helping me collect the necessary 2,000 watch hours. That's part of the Facebook program to recognize me as a licensed registered nurse. So what's happening at the end stages of Alzheimer's and other dementias? Let me explain it using a word picture for you. Think of the body as a grocery store. Of the nutrients you take in is truckloads of stock coming to fill up the grocery store. And think of all of your body organs and processes as customers coming in to buy all those groceries that were just bought in. So when you're eating, you're putting all these nutrients in your body that different parts of your body, different organ systems then are able to go and get and turn it into the energy they need to do what they're created to do. Well, imagine what would happen in a grocery store if fewer and fewer shoppers come, and yet you keep filling it up with more stock. You keep supplying things to the grocery store, but there's nobody to buy it and take it out. And soon the grocery store is overstocked, and there's products in the aisles and products just stacked everywhere that nobody wants to buy. When people age, especially when they're getting in the end stage of their life, and that's especially true with people with advanced dementias, Alzheimer's, and they're to the point where they're bedbound, they're incontinent, they're not talking much, they're not wanting to eat, they're not wanting to swallow. Their body, their organs are simply not going to get those nutrients. And the body is saying, wait a minute, we don't have the customers we used to have. We've got to stop putting stuff in here. We don't have space for it. And so these body systems begin to curb the desire even to eat. And patients often will not want to eat. Patients will often develop difficulty swallowing because their body just can't use and doesn't want the nutrients that we're trying to give it. And think of this too in other pictures. Think of a balloon that you would fill up with water, and you just fill it up and you fill it up and you fill it up and you fill it up. But there's one place in the opening where all the water's going in is there. Now imagine for a moment that the balloon is really, really full of water, and you let go of that opening that you've got clamped shut. The balloon, the water's just going to go everywhere. And that's what happens. We Sometimes we pump the body so full of nutrients, we see the abdomen getting bigger and bigger and stiffer and harder, and the body's not absorbing the nutrients. And so where does it go? It goes up where it comes down through, up through the esophagus and up into the throat, and can go down into the lungs and cause aspiration. Trying to feed somebody that's body is shutting down and doesn't want the nutrients and can't absorb the nutrients actually increase risk of what we call aspiration. That means getting foreign matter, foreign stuff into the lungs, and that's not a good thing. And I understand how you'd want to just take care of your loved one. There's somebody you love and you care about, and you don't want to see them to starve. You don't want to see them to suffer. And it's understandable that you are very concerned about their ability to eat. But the science and the medicine shows that there comes a time when eating just is not beneficial to somebody as they are approaching the end of their life. And as much as we don't want that to be true, it becomes part of the life process. And it is very, very difficult to deal with when we care about someone so much. But we can't, at this time, science and medicine is not there for there to be a different outcome. We don't live forever. And unfortunately and sadly, and I'm never excited about this as a hospice nurse, end of life comes, it happens, and it's hard. But we do want to make the best of those moments by taking care and making sure that we're not causing harm to a patient, but actually alleviating suffering and discomfort as much as possible in those final weeks and days of their lives. Well, thank you so much for watching. Beginning in July 2023, I will be posting videos with much higher production quality. So bear with me as we grow and develop this channel to provide a lot of helpful and good resources for everyone. Thank you again for watching.